This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Before I get started, I just want to say thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. Without your help, I never would have been able to get to the milestone that we reached yesterday, and I say we intentionally. We reached 600,000 subscribers, and I am beyond appreciative of your engagement and your interest in this content and your passion for making our country, and by extension, I believe the world, a better place. It's only because of your participation that we are here. So thank you very much. On to 1 million or 800,000 or 2 million. Let's just go crazy. Thank you. Let's talk about the shambles that is Washington, the absolute dysfunction that is the Republican Party in Congress. They have the slimmest of slim majorities, and it just became slimmer, or it will at the end of the week. Ken Buck, who is not some moderate Republican, he's a radical to be sure, has announced, he already announced he wasn't running. He is the congressman currently for the 4th Congressional District, the same district that Lauren Boebert switched to because he was stepping down. But he's decided to leave a little early. He's decided at the end of the week, he's going to peace out. He's gone, and he's going to leave the seat vacant. They're going to have to do a special election. If Lauren Boebert decides to run for that special election, she'd have to quit her seat. The way I understand it, she'd have to quit her seat in the 3rd to run for that one in the 4th. I don't know exactly how the individual state rules work in Colorado about this, but it makes it precarious for her, especially given the fact that she's only served, this will be her 2nd term, her 4th year, and you need to get to 6 years before you get that fat 100% pension. I don't know that money would really be a problem. She could certainly go on the grift circuit like she's accustomed and make all kinds of conservative money, grifting from the low information rubes, the Fox News audience. I mean, if Tommy Lahren doing it, Lauren Boebert can also do it. What I want to talk about related to it, though, is that the reason he's giving isn't that, Democrats are just so recalcitrant and they're so obstructionist that we can't get anything done. He's really leaving because his fellow Republicans are monsters, that they make the job miserable. In fact, some of the things that he says about how miserable it is down there on Capitol Hill is he's laying it right at the feet of his colleagues. He even has negative things to say about Speaker Johnson. I'm going to play 2 clips. One's very brief. It's like a TikTok or a short that was put together by NBC News, kind of a mashup from one interview. And it really is an indictment of leadership. He's the number 3 Republican on the Judiciary Committee. He's a powerful Republican. He's been there for 9 years or so. And he's out. First, the NBC News one to give you a flavor for his general mood. And then a brief clip from CNN because he sat down with Dana Bash yesterday and really laid bare just how bad, historically bad it is in the House of Representatives, a House of Representatives that is run by Republicans. Watch this.
This place just keeps going downhill, and I don't need to spend my time here. We've taken impeachment and we've made it a social media issue as opposed to a constitutional concept. Mike Johnson's ability to talk me into staying here is going to be about as successful as his ability into talking me into unconstitutional impeachments.
He's going out with a bang, is he not? Yeah, I think so. So listen, here's the clip of him. Let me talk a little bit about that. Ken Buck, it's such a strange thing when people like Liz Cheney finally wake up and start doing the right thing, the moral thing, the ethical thing, the thing that's good for the country. And this is another case of that, where Ken Buck, for some reason, is adhering to actual constitutional principles relative to impeachment. That in order to impeach, you need to meet certain criteria, and those are high crimes and misdemeanors. It's not because of a disagreement in policy. It's not because you don't like the cut of a guy's jib that you can impeach them. There is actual predicates that need to be met that are outlined in the Constitution of the United States. And again, the same document that Republicans pull out of their breast pockets and wave around and really put on a show as a prop. Ken Buck seems to actually care about it. Again, I don't know why it's just this and why he can't wake up in other ways, but, it is what it is. So he went on with Dana Bash yesterday to talk about this because this is big news. It's still continuing to reverberate. And he had things to say about just how historically dysfunctional the Congress is. And to remind you, he's talking about it framed just like that last interview, that last little clip. He's framing it, the criticisms he has isn't for the Congress as a whole, but a Congress, the House of Representatives we're talking about here, that is run by Republicans. The majority has it. The House isn't like the Senate where there's filibuster rules and where the minority actually still retains a bunch of power and checks against the majority. In the House, when you've got the majority, you can just run roughshod over the minority. And even with that being the case, they're taking and removing their own speakers of the House. They're stepping on their own feet. They're getting in their own way of their own policy objectives, thankfully, because their policy objectives would be damaging to the United States. So here is Ken Buck laying it out, talking about why he's leaving and just how miserable it is to be a congressman in this particular Republican-led Congress.
You already had announced that you were going to not run for re-election. Why leave now and leave a vacancy in an already very narrow majority for your party?
Yeah, because to me, it's important to get in the mix of this election cycle and start talking about the issues that people recognize are such a problem right now.
My colleague Melanie Zanona is reporting that there is such tension among House Republicans that many of them aren't even going to a retreat that's going to happen at the end of this week. Is that tension part of why you're leaving so abruptly?
I think this place is dysfunctional. For example, I am the number 3rd ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. I haven't even asked my questions yet. 40, 50 people have gone before me.
But that could be personal.
It could be personal, but a lot of this is personal, and that's the problem. Instead of having decorum, instead of operating in a professional manner, this place has just evolved into this bickering and nonsense, and not really doing the job for the American people.
How much of the fact that you are leaving March 22nd, next Friday, how much does that have to do with the fact that Trump is the presumptive nominee and you're not exactly a fan?
Well, I don't think whether he was the nominee or not, I think our system is broken in how we choose candidates, and I want to get involved in that process.
Is it really that miserable right now to be, from the outside in, it doesn't look that fun. From the inside in, is it that bad that you're saying, I'm done?
It is the worst year of the 9 years and 3 months that I've been in Congress. And having talked to former members, it's the worst year in 40, 50 years.
The worst year in 40 or 50 years. The worst year since the year Nixon left office in August of 1974. Because Republicans are in control. His party is in control. His party is leadership. And the bickering that he's talking about isn't bickering between Republicans and Democrats. That's not what he's referring to. He's referring to bickering among his own party. The Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Lauren Boeberts calling each other little bitches or whatever, all of the nonsense, all of the backbiting, all of the infighting, all of the intrigue. He's tired of it because nothing is getting done. Thankfully, the United States says with a sigh of relief, they're not getting anything done because, one, the other two, the Senate and the White House, are in Democrats' hands. But imagine if they had a magic wand and were able to do to the country that which they want, to install and initiate white Christian nationalism as the thing that rules us all, whether you're a Christian or whether you're some other religion or no religion at all. This is what they would want. And they can't get it done. That upsets him. It's a bummer for him because he's, again, not a moderate. He may sound like a moderate. He is not. In fact, it does give me pause that he's interested in how we elect candidates. That I'm not a fan of. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. You can also just leave a comment below. That'll help YouTube to recommend. Every engagement helps YouTube recommend this content to new people. So if you like and comment, make sure you're subscribed. If you share this video, watch as much of it as you can stomach. All of those things go a long way for YouTube to recognize this video as valuable to viewers and recommend it to new viewers. If you want to help support this work, click the join button below this YouTube video. Become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. And I'm still doing the thing where I motion behind myself as though that's where the Patreon is. It is not. It is on the computer. Anyway, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.